watching on today's video. It is a Saturday. I am in such a good mood today. I don't know, the sun is finally starting to shine in Nairobi, so I'm getting the good vibes. Yeah, I've been off here for a while. We're not going to get into it. What counts is that I'm back and that you're here with me. Thanks so much for joining. So, as you can tell by the title, the category is base, honey. Yes, today we are going to be testing out a ton of new base products. This is a little sneak peek of what's to come. I'm really excited about this one because it's also a wear test. So we'll be seeing how the face holds up during the day. So there'll be a little bit of a check-in later on. So if that sounds like it's right up your street, then keep it here because I'm going to break down my first impressions of what I think about the new base products that I've got and let you know all the tea. If you haven't already, please also make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. Thanks so much to all of the subscribers that keep coming back. You guys are the real deal and you keep me motivated to kind of basically keep going even when it gets difficult. So much love to you. And if you don't already, then also go check me out on Instagram as well. All right, enough rambling. I know you want to see what's going down, so let's get into it. So I'm starting off with my eye makeup done. So brows are on, eyeshadow is on, lashes are on as well. For eyeshadow, I've kind of gone for like a bronzy terracotta vibe. I'm just kind of feeling that today. And then for lashes, I've got the Ardell 421s, which I told you guys are amazing. If you're looking for just like natural, but like not too natural, like is she wearing falsies? Are those just her amazing lashes? These are the lashes that you want, and they're super lightweight and they look good with everything. So I didn't want to have anything too heavy on the eye today because we really just want to focus on base. So the eyes are really simple. Okay, so speaking of base, onto foundation. I have already primed my skin with the Colourpop All-Star Primer. And for foundation, we're going in with the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. I am in the shade New Caledonia, or at least I hope I'm in the shade New Caledonia. I have wanted this foundation for the longest time, but I couldn't figure out shade and I didn't know quite where to go, but I just kind of plunged. I've gone for it. I've decided we're going to try this out. So let me tell you a little bit what NARS says about the foundation. This is just off the side of the box. Meet NARS's first longwear foundation that looks stronger, stays longer, with skin recognition pigments for the truest colour match and 16 hours of wear. Featuring NARS's Skin Optimizing Complex, for smoother, healthier looking skin. So shake well, apply a small amount starting in the center of the face and blend outwards. Okay, let's go in. I really like the packaging of this box as well. It's that nice kind of smooth velvety touch. Velvet matte touch, I think they call it. So the foundation looks like this. It's in a glass jar bottle and it comes with a pump. So I'm just going to put this onto the back of my hand. I'm going to do maybe one pump and see. Oh, well, you've got to pump it a few times when you first got the foundation for that to work. So, oh, there we go. Okay, the pumps are actually quite small. I'm going to start off with, I need it. 3 pumps. The pumps are quite small. I thought more would come out. So that's 3 pumps on the back of my hand. And the colour looks okay. So let's see how that applies on. I'm just going to take my finger first and dab that onto my face. It kind of reminds me colour-wise of the NYX Mocha shade that I have, the Born to Glow foundation, which I love. I think I've put on too much. I think 2 pumps have probably been enough. This looks like it's going to be pretty high coverage. And then for sponge, I'm going in with this AOA Studio foundation sponge. I like to test foundations with this sponge because it just applies my foundation so well. Okay, this is looking good and feeling good already. It's super lightweight, which we love. Oh God, it is giving me the coverage. Okay. I mean, I know I went in with a lot. I would definitely recommend you start with the 2 pumps. Don't go in with the 3 like me. It just looked like little on the back of my hand. But the 2 pumps is giving me the coverage, you guys. Do you see? So let me just get that on around my brows. Need a teeny bit more around there. The shade looks really good. It's matching really nicely the undertone of my rest of my body. It's not too red and it's not too golden. It does have warmth to it. Yeah, but it's looking good. But let's see how it kind of dries down. All foundations, of course, when you first put them on, kind of feel or kind of look a little bit brighter, and then they tend to like dry down to their actual colour. But this feels like I've got nothing on. What? Considering I put on that much, it doesn't feel like anything is on my face. NARS, you might have did something. And now understand why everybody has been raving about this foundation. Why did I wait so long? I should have trusted myself with the colours to begin with. Do you see? And I'm definitely getting the radiance. It is just giving like a glow from within. So whatever it says on the tin, it's doing that. That looks so beautiful. Let me just, sorry, I just need to admire myself and the way my skin looks right now. And my skin has been a little bit troublesome over the past couple of weeks, but I also, to be fair, haven't been taking care of it the best that I could. Just been a little bit off the past couple of weeks, but yes. It has a little bit of, it's kind of like golden, but in a slightly, and I really do mean this slightly, a slightly orange way, in a very warm, rich way, not in the horrible orangutan way. I'm glad that I went for this shade, because if I would have gone for something else, I think it would have thrown me off. The next shade up, I think, was a little bit too dark and a slightly wrong undertone, and the shade underneath, I was scared about it being too light. So I think this was a good way to go. My skin feels beautiful. Alright, so now let's move on to concealer, and hoping that we can keep this going with NARS. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, an OG product. This has been around for absolutely ages. I haven't tried this before. I just never really had the urge to buy this. But as I was buying the foundation, I was like, let me try this out. And also because they brought it out in mini size, I was like, I can try it out. I'll see how I feel about it. And then I'll let you guys know. So this is the shade Truffle. You remember in my last video, I tried out the creamy concealer in the shade Amande, which we all know was not it. And everybody was using that. If you're lighter than me, then definitely Amande will work for you. But if you're kind of using these as shade reference, just leave Amande alone. Let's see what Truffle does for us. So let me also tell you what they say about this. Does it have anything to say about this? Okay, there's nothing on the box, but essentially I'm hoping, because it's also called Radiant and it has Radiant in the name, that it's going to give me the same kind of like glow from within vibes that I'm getting with the foundation. So I'm just going to go on. It has a small doe foot applicator and apply this directly to my face. Oh, okay. Kind of like I usually would. This colour reminds me a lot of the NYX concealer that I've been using lately in Cappuccino. Just by eye and seeing like what I can see from my eye without swatching them side by side, it looks like they might be very similar in shade. You know what? Let me get you a thing so we can swatch it. Okay, so let me put it up there. So this is Truffle. And this, yes, is Cappuccino. Yeah, so you can see them there side by side. So Truffle on this side, Cappuccino on that side. And Truffle just looks a hair lighter. They're very, very similar, but Truffle just looks a tiny bit brighter than Cappuccino. So I'm hoping that it will actually give me the look that I want. Sometimes I pair up Cappuccino with a slightly brighter concealer just right in the corner to give that bit of a lift. But I think I'm just going to try this on its own today, so let's see. To start off my blend, I'm going to go in with this brush, and it's from the bhCosmetics Marble Luxe Set. It's a beautiful little brush for kind of this kind of work. for blending out concealer or doing kind of detailed base work. Again, this feels super lightweight. It literally feels like nothing. And that's interesting because I wasn't expecting it to feel so lightweight because of the creamy in the name. I don't know, somehow, do you do this as well? Like, you go by what the name is. So if the name has something in it that leans towards something, it kind of triggers a particular texture or finish in your mind. So when I usually see creamy, I expect it to be a little bit heavier, but it's not heavy at all. Maybe creamy in terms of how it blends out, because this is blending out like a dream. Literally disappearing into nothing on my face. I'm going to add on a little bit more because I think I can get away with a teeny bit more brightness. I'm going a little bit wider. Right here. Make sure to look up so that you get the concealer in all of the nooks and crannies under your eye. Oh yes, that is just beautiful. It's literally just dissolving into my skin, and I'm kind of using like a pushing technique to work the concealer into my skin. So not dragging it, so I'm not kind of like disrupting the foundation underneath. Oh, gorgeous. And then I'm gonna go in and just help everything blend together. I'm using this big sponge from AOA Studio. It's so soft and is perfect for this kind of work when you want to make sure that you get like a seamless finish between base products, because it has quite a lot of, I don't know, air. It just feels airy. It's very kind of cloud-like as compared to a lot of other sponges, and even more so than so this is the Purple blender, and there is one that's called the AOA just regular blender, and this is cloudier than the original one. So the original one is soft and it's great for like, I think, applying foundation, but this, when you want to kind of like blend two base products together, it does the thing. Oh, my face looks so good, you guys. Even considering that I've been complaining about having skin issues, it looks really, really good. So usually right now I would go in and set my under eye and then continue with my base, but I want to just make sure that I finish all of my liquid base steps before I go in with powders. So I want to go in and bronze the perimeter of my face, and for that I am going to go into the NYX Born to Glow, but this is in the shade Deep. It's a little bit richer, and that is the one that I want to use for the rest of my face, and like just to help bronze it up. You just need to dab it on the back of my hand now. Yeah, there we go. And I'm using, again, from the same brush set, the bhCosmetics Marble Studio, or Marble, whatever it's called. The Marble Brush Set. It's like a stippling brush, but it has an interesting shape because it's kind of tapered. It's not like completely round. So it's nice for doing this kind of also more detailed stippling work. So also going to go along my chin and bring that down into my neck as well, because you guys know my neck is a lot darker than my face and my chest, so just trying to help that balance out a little bit so that it's not too harsh. That's blended in really nicely as well, and then I'm just going to go back to that sponge again just to make sure that everything is kind of flawless and there's nothing too shocking going on. Okay, we can now go into set, and I'm going to go set my under eyes with the same old that I usually use, the Laura Mercier setting powder in medium deep. My highlight is really subtle, so I hope this isn't going to take it too far down into blending into my skin tone, because sometimes I do use this powder all over my face. But let's see, I'm going in with a small mini sponge to make sure that I can get all the way up in there with the powder. I'm using a really small amount of powder. Don't be tempted to go in too much with this under eye setting powder, because what I found is it just ends up looking really cakey, and it's really hard to kind of bring it back from being cakey under your eyes. Okay, now time to set my entire face, and one more new product is this. It's the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. I'm in the shade 60. This has been touted to be a dupe for the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, which I've owned before and loved. So I will see how this performs against it, but the girls love this on YouTube, so hopefully I will love it too. It comes in a number of different shades. This is the deepest. It looks pretty light in the pan, so I'm hoping it's not going to be, you know, crazy, but let's see. And I'm going in with a big powder brush. Ooh, girl. Okay, that picks up quite a lot of product, so just make sure to dust off. I'm just making sure that I get this all around the brush, but it does have quite a bit of kick up. And I'm just going to set the rest of my face with this. Oh yeah. Yes! I like what she's doing. I feel like my face still looks like it has life in it. It's not like completely matted it out and taken everything out, so I enjoy that. Great. Time for bronzer. Still using my broken Covergirl Full Spectrum bronzer. I'm just going to lightly take this around the perimeter of my face as well. For blush, I also want to kind of mimic that terracotta vibe that I've got going on, so I'm actually going to go into an eyeshadow palette, and this is Makeup Revolution Chocolate Orange palette, and there's a shade down here. Ooh, oh, that's completely broken off. Let me put that over there. There's a shade down here, that's kind of terracotta. I love that shade, so I'm just going to carefully pick it up on a stippling brush and lightly dust that on my cheeks. Alright, so I finished off the bottom of my eyes with more liner, mascara, inner corner highlight, all that juicy stuff. So time for lips. So I need to line my lips, of course. So I'm going in with this Colourpop liner in the shade BFF4. It's just a really nice deep brown. And then for lips, going in with a gloss. I know, it's still mask time, it's still, you know, but can't get enough of a good gloss. That's also Colourpop Netta, which is unfortunately sold out now because it was part of the Ebony collaboration, but they don't stock it anymore. I will let you know when I find a good dupe. And then to top that all off, going in with the Kiko 3D Hydro Gloss in the shade number 20, which you can get on Cocoon, and is just the perfect shade to top everything else off, because it has a teeny little bit of glitter running through it that is so subtle and so pretty. Ugh, love it. Yes! Time for setting spray, and I have two here to choose from. So my go-to, which is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer and setting spray, and the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This gives a really nice glow for more matte foundations, but because my face is already quite radiant, I'm just going to stick to the Morphe one. This is like the classic one. There is one that does give more of a dewy finish, but I don't want that. So I just want it to set and so that's what we're gonna do. Ugh, smells so good, gorgeous. All right, and that's my face done. I'm loving it. It is looking so cute. I am just like, I can't stop staring at myself, which sounds so vain, but listen, this foundation is doing things and it feels like nothing is on my skin. It's incredible. Loving it. Okay, so face is done, jewelry is on, girls feeling cute. Yeah, no, I'm really liking what this is looking like so far. I've got lunch with some girlfriends today, so I thought, why don't we make this a bit of a wear test, and I can check in with you later on and we can see basically how my face is holding up. The time now is 11:45. Running a bit late because I'm supposed to be there at 12, but I just need to basically throw on clothes and leave the house. So I will check in with you in a couple of hours and we'll see how this is holding up. My forehead particularly is looking very glowy. Glowy, not greasy, so I'm hoping that's not going to break down as time goes on and I'm not going to get really like, you know, ewy. But we'll see. I'm going to carry the Micro Smooth Powder for touch-ups if need be, but otherwise I'm really enjoying what this looks like. Yeah, and see you in a little bit. Hi guys, so I am taking a break in the loo. Had some lunch, had a few drinks, and I just thought I'd check in because I just came to the loo. It's now 4:10ish p.m, so it's about 4 hours later since I put this foundation. It's still looking really good, and from a very critical makeup lover, this is apparently the best makeup match that I've ever had. So get into it. So it's just a little bit, I can see a few oils kind of like peeking through here on my forehead and a little bit on my nose, but it's not breaking up in any way whatsoever. If I wanted to, I could dab it, but it's looking a little more glary because there's a light just here, but honestly in the daylight it looks really, really good. I'm loving what I'm looking like. And this foundation is in yours. Yes. Alright guys, I am back. It is now 6:07 p.m. and this is how my face is performing. So the light is poor now, so the ring light is on full power and it's obviously reflecting off my face. I'm definitely getting a little bit of oil breakthrough just here on my forehead and a little bit still around my nose, but the rest of my face is holding up really well. Still looks really radiantly kind of glowing from within. I wouldn't say that I am upset by this 6 hours later. What I'm gonna do is just dab. This brush hasn't got any fresh product on it, but just to show you that a quick blot kind of restores my face to what I would want it to look like after a couple of hours. So I think we're together. I will play around with a few different primers just to see what I think about this foundation paired up with different primers to see whether it holds up more or not. But also my skin has been kind of playing with me a little bit, so I think that might be why some of the oils are coming through. But overall, I would give this foundation an absolute stellar, like 9 out of 10. I think the color was on point, the formulation was on point, it held up really well, the coverage was incredible, super lightweight. I mean, it just kind of does everything that you want from a foundation, or at least everything that I want, which is basically to give me the coverage, to give me the longevity, and to give me like a glowing, beautiful complexion, which I definitely think it did. Love that. Concealer also holding up tremendously well. I enjoyed the concealer. I think the shade was definitely a very natural looking shade for me, the Truffle. If you want something that looks a little bit more picked up, you might want to go a little bit lighter. I don't know what the shade Up is from Truffle, but maybe check out that one if you're like a similar shade to me, or just kind of use that shade and then just add a little tiny bit of brighter concealer right here in the corner, and that will help lift. I could also get a lifted kind of look if I used a brightening powder as opposed to the medium dark Laura Mercier. So I might try that out because I am waiting on the honey Laura Mercier powder to get here so that I can test that out for you as well. Powder, love the powder. really just kind of brought everything together, flawless. Yeah, it did the thing, no complaints there at all. So all around, I think this was a really, really good, I think, first impression on all the products that I was reviewing in today's video. So if you found that useful, then please go ahead, give the video a thumbs up, leave some love down below in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.